Good morning. Good morning and a very warm welcome to all distinguished guests, scientists, innovators, students, and participants joining us for this online program on From Innovation to Impact, Intellectual Property, Licensing, and Commercialization Strategies for Agricultural Technologies. This program is organized to celebrate World Intellectual Property Day 2026. So this year, the World Intellectual Property Organization has chosen the theme IP and Sports, Ready, Set, and Innovate, emphasizing how innovation, strategy, and intellectual property drive progress and create impact across diverse domains, including agriculture. So today's program focuses on the critical role of intellectual property, licensing and commercialization, and translating the agricultural innovations into societal and economic benefits. It's my privilege to introduce our esteemed speakers for today's session. Our first speaker, Dr. Nitin Tiwari Shukla, is a distinguished expert in intellectual property and technology transfer. I request Madam if she can just video.
Yeah, actually I'm trying. I think I'm on a limited bandwidth, so that is an issue,
Okay.
Kavita ji, right now.
Okay. So Dr. Shukla holds a doctoral degree in biomedical research and is a registered Indian patent agent. She has been awarded the Women Scientist C scheme of Department of Science and Technology for training in intellectual property rights, and is a DST IUSSTF Horana Tech Transfer Fellow trained at the University of Wisconsin Madison. She was also nominated by the Indian Patent Office for the Japan Patent Office IPR training program for IP managers in Japan. Currently, she serves as principal scientist and heads the intellectual property group at CSIR National Chemical Laboratories, NCL Innovations, which is one of the India's leading IP management group in the non-profit sector. With over 12 years of experience, she has contributed significantly to IP protection, portfolio management, licensing, negotiations, innovation policy, and technology commercialization. She has also been a Chevening Fellow at University of Oxford. So our second speaker is Mrs. Shruti Sali. She is an accomplished intellectual property professional with extensive expertise at the interface of IP and commercialization. She holds a postgraduate degree in biotechnology, a degree in patent law, and is a registered patent agent. She has worked with leading organizations, including Jai Biotech Private Limited, CSIR National Chemical Laboratory, CSIR's Unit for Research and Development of Information Products, and Shreya Life Sciences Private Limited, having rich experience in managing the entire patent lifecycle. With over 8 years of professional experience, she has been actively engaged in patent search, drafting, and prosecution, hearings before the controller, and advising on commercialization strategies with strong expertise in Indian IP laws and regulations. So we are indeed fortunate to have these experts with us today to share their insights. I extend warm welcome to Dr. Nitin Shukla and Mrs. Shruti Sali. Now I invite Chairman Dr. Kaushik Banerjee, the Director, for his introductory remarks for the program.
Good morning, everybody. It's my immense pleasure to welcome you all. And thanks, Kavita Madam, for the introductory remarks. And it's very important that we organize this particular event almost every year. And this is so important in agriculture because agriculture has a lot of innovations, which we recently have in last few years, especially in our ICAR system. We are talking a lot about how to do more and more innovations and how to commercialize those innovations so that at the end of the day, the innovations that reach the stakeholders, especially our farmers and various industry professionals. And this helps us in resolving various problems through technology commercialization. So every year, World Intellectual Property Organization marks this occasion to promote awareness about the role of intellectual property in fostering innovation and creativity. The theme this year, as Kavita has already mentioned, that IP and sports ready, set, and innovate. This highlights how innovation, resilience, and strategic protection of ideas fuel advancement, whether in sports, science, and technology, whether it is in sports, science, technology, wherever, because you know that in case of sports, science, technology, we have always we are facing lots of challenges, and how to resolve those challenges, how to face those challenges. You need to develop technology, you need to be innovative, you have to be strategic, you have to see that your applications of technology is really true to the type, true to the purpose. Today's program for innovation to impact intellectual property, licensing, and commercialization strategies for agricultural technologies is therefore timely and highly relevant. I'm confident that the deliberations today in this event will provide practical insights and inspire stronger engagement with innovation, protection, and technology transfer. So I again extend my sincere appreciation to our distinguished speakers. I think they earlier also addressed us, and we were highly benefited by Dr. Nitin Shukla's presentation, which we attended once earlier. And with these few words, I formally inaugurate today's program and wish the session a great success. So let's have it an interactive program, and let us make it in such a way that it has a long-standing impact on our current research at NRCGrapes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We will now begin with the today's seminar, but before that, I would like to inform that question and answer session will be at the end of the seminar. And during the seminar, all are requested to mute the mic to avoid any disturbances. And at the end of the seminar, you are all open for the questions. So I now invite Dr. Nitin Shukla to kindly commence the session.
Thank you, Kavita, for inviting us. Thank you, Dr. Banerjee, for your great leadership. I really appreciate the efforts you all make every year in celebrating IP like this. And this is more important because, as you said, rightly pointed out, Dr. Banerjee, that agriculture field has immense potential, and our country needs make in India and such products which are designed to suit the Indian needs. So it is very, very vital that as researchers, we understand what is the importance of IP, how can we harness the IP strategically. We have done parts of it earlier, but this year the theme is, as informed, is IP and sports, ready, get set, and innovate. So right from Kashmir's willow, which was used in making the cricket bats, agriculture and IP are having a long association. This particular one is GI. Similarly, other grapes, mango varieties are also protected under GIs. And I would like this opportunity to highlight the correlation between IP and sports. Just like in sports, we have practices, we have team spirits, we have final matches, we have wins, we have our failures. Similarly, in the field of science, we have collaborations, we have ideas which sometimes fail, which sometimes may mature further or may not see the light of the day eventually. But what is persistent is resilience, that we should be trying with a target of winning the game of this science. Just like players play in the field, scientists are great players inside the labs, which they have turned out to bring out so many solutions to the problems which Indians face as a society. And still we are an agrarian society, so we need a lot of innovations coming from there. But the difference between sports and IP here is, sports involve like a certain set of rules. There are frameworks which they have to follow, but in case of research, those frameworks, those rules are called IP, by which the research potential can be harnessed. It can be used to impact the society, because ultimately it is not the idea but the impact of that idea which counts a lot. So with this brief background, integrating IP and sports, the theme this year, I would request my colleague Shruti to talk about what is the impact of IP, what are the steps involved in commercialization, in in basically agribusiness related stuff. And this is just to inform you, this is a very basic presentation we are doing. In case you have any specific things to ask, we welcome your questions towards the end of the session. Shruti, over to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Kavita ma'am, Nitin ma'am, and Kaushik sir for the warm welcome. So let's start without any further delay. Let's start with the session. I hope my screen is visible to all.
Shruti, just share it once again.
Okay.
It's not yet visible, Shruti.
Okay. So my topic is from innovation to impact, intellectual property, licensing, and commercialization strategies for agricultural technologies. So agriculture today is not just about the traditional farming. It is increasing driven by innovations, whether it is an improved seeds, smart irrigation systems, or digital
Shruti,
technology.
one sec. Shruti, I think your slides are not visible.
Okay.
You need to, I think, reshare it. Yes, please
Okay,
unshare and share.
Okay, ma'am. Is it visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So I was talking about the agriculture. So many innovations developed in the laboratories never reach farmers. So this gap between the innovation and the real world use is a major challenge. So this is where the intellectual property, licensing, and commercialization strategies plays a crucial role to help protect innovations, transfer them to the industry, and ensure they reach the market efficiently. In these presentations, I will discuss how technologies move from idea to impact through this mechanism. So this is just an diagram that shows the journey of agricultural technologies from concept to the market impact. So first one is the idea. So every innovation begins with idea. So idea comes from the challenges faced by the individuals or farmers. So second step is the R&D. What we do, so once we have an idea, it goes through the R&D concept. It is tested, tried, and find the tangible solution. The third one is the TRL assessment, that is technology readiness level assessment. At this stage, we assess how mature the technology is. And TRL ranges from basic research to fully developed market-ready solutions. Fourth one is the IP. So IP is protecting innovations through patents or PVP or trademark. To protect the innovations we secure the intellectual property rights. The fifth one is the market research. So before commercialization, we evaluate the market. This includes understanding the demand, pricing, competition, and most importantly, whether farmers are willing and able to adopt this technology or not. So this is the very crucial step before the commercialization of your technology. And the last one is the commercialization. Finally, the technology is brought to the market, and this can be done through the partnership with the companies, through licensing agreements, or by creating a startup or spin-offs. So this is the concept of how the technology or innovations move to the market. So this is the journey of innovation. So once the technology is developed, the next step is to assess its maturity using the technology readiness level or TRL. So here you can see that there are 9 TRL levels, and this TRL level is developed by the NASA. So this diagram represents the technology readiness level scale, which shows how a technology progresses from basic idea to a fully commercial product. Here you can see, for if you want to produce or make a drought resistant crop, so what will be the basic research? That study of genes related to the drought tolerance. This is the basic research. This is just an idea to develop a drought resistant crop. This is the TRL level 1. So this technology is very basic, that we have an idea just that to produce drought resistant crop, because we face some challenges of drought. The second is the concept, like no, now we know that we have to develop this drought-resistant crop. So concept is plan to develop a drought-resistant crop. This is the TRL level 2. Then third is the proof of concept. The gene shows that yes, we have the genes that shows that drought resistance in the lab. This is the TRL level 3. And fourth is the lab validations. Now we have a gene modified crop, and we can test this in a lab condition. That is a TRL level 4. And if you tested in the relevant environment, that is a TRL level 5. Then TRL level 6 is demonstration. Then 7 is a prototype, and TRL 8 and 9 is the commercial and ready system. So these are the TRL levels. And so the TRL level helps us understand how close a technology is to real world use and whether it's ready to move towards a commercialization or not. So this is a very important assessment before your technology is marketed. So this is all about the TRL assessment. Then once the technology reaches a sufficient level of maturity, this step is to protect it through the intellectual property rights. So all we know about this, what is intellectual property? So intellectual property, it's an intangible asset. It lacks a physical substance and it refers to the creation of mind. So it could be an invention, that is, it could be a product or it could be a process. And then it could be a literacy on artistic work, or it could be a design, symbols, name, and images. IPR is an umbrella that covers various types of IP depending on what you create. For example, invention is protected by a patent, while logo is protected by a trademark. Here you can see the innovations is protected, product or processes are protected under the patent. For example, patent drip irrigation system, biofertilizer composition, gene editing technology in crop. This can be patented. And term for this particular type of IP is 20 years. Then new plant varieties like hybrid seeds, drought-resistant wheat, improved rice varieties can be protected under the Plant Variety Protection Act. And term for this type of IP is 15 years. It can be extended up to 18 years, varies by the crop and law. Then third type of IP is trademark. It protects the seed brand names, fertilizers, brands, agro product logos, and the term for this particular type of IP is renewable indefinitely. Fourth one is the copyright. Here you can protect the farm management software, agriculture mobile apps, and the training manuals. And term or duration of this type of IP is life of author plus 60 years. And last one is the trade secret. Here you can protect the seed treatment formula, pesticide composition, cultivation techniques. Here, this can be protected under the trademark, and the term for this type of IP is unlimited as long as it kept as a secret. So this slide summarizes the different types of intellectual property rights used in agriculture. Each type protects a different aspect of innovation. So it's important to understand when and how each is applied. Now, moving towards the importance, why IP is important. So IP is very important as it gives an exclusive rights to the creator. It prohibits others from making, using, and selling and manufacturing the invention. So it gives an exclusive right to the creator. Second is it avoids the infringement as it provides a legal ground for action if someone uses the IP protected work without the permission. The owner can take a legal action against the infringement. So in this way, we can avoid the infringement. Third one is the reap commercial benefits. So I will explain this with the help of basic example. So do you see Nokia phones in the market? No, but still Nokia company is earning revenue because Nokia company has protected their technologies in IP and generates a revenue out of it. So in this way, IP IP generates a revenue out of it. So fourth one is a promoting innovation. So IP is providing a monopoly rights to the creator that encourages the researcher to develop a new product or process. So in this way, IP is promoting the innovations. And last one is the economic growth. IP also plays a very important role in driving economic growth by fostering the innovations, attracting investments, creating jobs, and enhancing competitiveness. So this is all about the importance of IP. Now that the innovation is protected, the next step is to check whether it has a real demand in the market or not. So market research helps determine whether a technology has a real demand, a suitable user, or capable partner. It ensures that only commercially viable innovations move forward to licensing and commercialization. So these are some important points to consider before the commercialization of any technology. The first one is the assess the market readiness and demand. It means check if people need the product or not. For example, if you have developed an irrigation system and you are selling this system or you are selling this technology to the region where the water capacity is very low, so it is not useful in that particular area. But if you are selling this particular type of technology in a region where facing water scarcity, that is very useful. So in this way, we need to check before the commercialization that whether the people need this product or not. This is the first point. Second is identify target user and application areas. So second one, you need to identify who will use it. Farmer, companies, or individuals are, so who will be the your target user? So you need to understand and you need to figure it out. Whatever you have developed or whatever you have created the technology, you need to find it out who is going to use that technology. You need to find out the interested consumer. The third one is the analyze competitors and technology landscape. So whatever you have developed, whatever, if you have a technology, you need to find it out whether this similar type of technology is already in the market or not. You need to study the similar products which are available in the market. Fourth one is the evaluate the market capacity or absorptive capacity. It means, so you have developed technology, but you need to understand whether this technology is able to use, people can use it or not. So people, you need to understand if user can understand and use it. For example, drip irrigation system. It works where the technology is known and know how to use it. So we need to find out again the interested people or interested individuals that they know how to use this particular type of technology. So this is the fourth one. And fifth one is the identify potential partners or license. Find the companies to partner with who can take the technology to the market effectively. For example, startups and collaborators. Sixth one is the promote technology through IP marketing. So you can promote the technology through IP to attract the buyers. So using a patent as a marketing tool, a granted patent builds a credibility and signals that the technology is novel and protected. So we can participate in the industry event, exhibitions, agri-tech fairs to connect with the companies and stakeholders. So in this way, we can promote your technology through IP marketing. The last one is the support technology evaluation and business case. So before commercialization, you need to understand if the product is worth commercializing or not. So these are the basic points or market research points to consider before the commercialization of your technology. So after confirming the market demand, the next step is to find out the different ways of commercialization. So these are the different strategies for commercializing technologies. First one is the licensing, technology transfer, direct commercialization, startup, spin-off, and joint venture. So these are the different strategies for the commercializing technology. So we will see the first one, that is licensing. So what is licensing? So licensing is again a mutual agreement between the licensor and the licensee. The licensor is the owner of an invention, grants rights to the licensee to use his or her invention under specific terms and conditions without transferring the ownership. So this is the licensing. This is the licensing. So how do you license an invention? So licensing is granting right to use an invention to another party for commercial use. So by granting a license to the licensee, inventor or licensor can earn through a lump sum payment or royalties. So there are some key terms are used while doing the licensing agreement. That is exclusivity, upfront payment, royalty, territory, and liability. So what do you understand by exclusivity? Exclusivity means who can use the invention. So if the licensor has given a license to one company, that one company is going to use that invention and nobody is going to use that invention. So this is the exclusive license. And what about non-exclusive? Non-exclusive license means many companies can sell the invention. For example, if I developed a seeds, new varieties, new seeds. So if I give a license to B company, so B company is going to use in terms of exclusive. But if I developed a seed and if I give a license to A, B, C, then A, B, C can use the ABC can use the invention to commercialize it. That is exclusivity. Second is upfront payment. So upfront payment with initial fees paid by the company. So for example, if seed company pays 10 lakh to the institute at the time of signing the agreement, that is upfront payment. Third one is the royalty. The royalty is given to the payment based on the revenue. It means ongoing payment based on the sales. Example is the company pays 5% of sales revenue for every packet of the seed sold. So it could be 5%, it could be 10%. So these are the terms. You can decide as per the your choice. Then fourth one is the territory, geographical scope. It means where the company can sell the product. So the licensee can allow to use to commercialize your invention to multiple states, or it may restrict to the India only. So this is the territory. And last one is the liability, the risk and legal responsibilities. It means who is responsible if someone goes wrong. So in case if the seed fails due to the manufacturing defect, the company is responsible. But if the issue is due to the incorrect research data, then the inventor is responsible. So this is the terms, this is the key terms used in while doing the licensing agreement. So there are different types of licensing agreement based on intellectual property and based on exclusivity. So based on intellectual property, there are 4 types of licensing agreement. First is the patent licensing. In patent licensing, licensor grants the licensee rights to make, use, sell, or import a patented invention. In trademark licensing, allows the licensee to use a brand name, logo, or slogan on specific products or services. In case of copyright licensing, permits the use of creative works like software, music, literature, or photos. And last one is the trade secret licensing. Involves sharing confidential business information, formulas, processes, or know-how like the recipes for Coca-Cola if it were licensed. So this is these 4 types are based on the intellectual property. Now, based on the exclusivity, as I already mentioned, what is exclusive license and non-exclusive license. So exclusive license grants rights solely to one licensee within a defined scope, that is a territory or field of use. The licensor agrees not to grant a similar licensee to other and often cannot use the IP themselves within that scope. It means if I developed one technology and I've given a license to B company, then only B company can use that invention. Even I cannot use that invention. Even the owner or even the licensor cannot use that invention. This is exclusive license. And non-exclusive license means allow the licensor to grant a similar license to multiple licensees and continue using IP themselves. In this case, a licensor can allow to give license to more than one company, and even the licensor can use that invention in non-exclusive licensing. The third one is the sole license. Sole license, it means it's a middle ground where the licensor agrees not to grant a license to third parties, but serves the right to use the IP themselves alongside the sole licensee. It means in sole licensee, you can give a license to only one licensee, and you can also use the IP for themselves. Like licensor can use the IP and the licensee can use. But in exclusive license, only the licensee can use the invention. So this is all about the licensing agreement based on the exclusivity and based on the intellectual property. So these are some benefits and risks of licensing agreements. So first we will see the benefits. So first benefit is revenue generation. So licensor receive a steady income stream through royalties or fees without additional production, investment or infrastructure cost. So in this way, a licensor can generate revenue by selling the invention for a particular period of time to the licensee. Second is a market expansion. So licensor can enter new regions or industry by partnering with the established companies. So in this way, licensor can enter into the new company or into the new market. So in this way, a licensor is expanding the market. Third one is the risk mitigation. Third one is the innovation and collaboration. It's a strategic licensing partnership significantly boosts the licensor visibility and recognition, especially when parenting with the well-known companies. So fourth one is the risk mitigation. It means licensing mitigates the risk by clearing, defining the rights and responsibilities while delivering benefits such as revenue, wider market access, and faster farmer adoption. So these are some benefits of licensing agreements. Now moving towards the risk of licensing agreement. First one is the brand dilution. It means if a licensee make a poor quality product, it can harm the licensor brand image. Second one is the partner risk. So choosing a wrong partner can lead to the poor result, conflicts, and misuse of IP. The third one is the limited autonomy. It means the licensee have to follow the rules in the agreement, so limiting their freedom. For example, the agreement may restrict the geographical area, means licensee can sell the product only in certain region and he or she cannot go beyond that. This is the limited autonomy. Then fourth one is the ongoing cost. The paying royalties reduces the license's profit, and especially if sales are low. And last one is the dependency concern. It means the business depends on the license, so ending the agreement can cause the problem. So these are some benefits and risks of licensing agreement. Now moving toward the second strategy of commercialization is the technology transfer. So let's understand what is technology transfer. So technology transfer is a formal transfer of IP or other rights to any entity to use and commercialize the new invention or innovation. So there are different modes of technology transfer. So you can transfer your technology by publication, like technical journal, scientific magazine, etc. Then presentations, personal contact, conference, courses, professional organizations. Third is the patent documents. Fourth, contract research, sponsored research, and R&D collaborations with the firm, institution, industry staff exchange, postgraduate projects, students entering the workforce, consultancy work by the university staff, assignments, and licensing of technology and spin-off and startups. So these are the different modes of technology transfer. Again, there are 4 types of technology transfer. First one is the internal technology transfer. This happens in one organization only. For instance, a software development subgroup in a firm can come up with a new instrument or methodology, which is later implemented in the overall firm. So internal technology transfer, this happens in one organization only. For example, if one inventor, take an example of NCL. If one inventor comes with an idea, comes with a new instrument or technology, and that technology is later implemented in all NCL, this is nothing but the internal technology transfer. Then second is the external technology transfer. This refers to the movement of technology from one organization to another. For example, if university may conduct research that result in a new method of solving a particular problem through software algorithm, and this can be licensed to a private company with a view of marketing it. So this is the external technology transfer, that from one university to private company. This is external technology transfer. Then third one is the government to industry transfer. So many governments spend a lot of their cash on R&D. Devices invented in government facilities may be licensed to a company wherein such device may be further developed for commercial purposes. This is the government to industry transfer. And last one is the industry to industry transfer. A firm may invent a intermediary product in which it cannot effectively utilize. This technology can be sold to another company that has all the assets and the network to benefit from it. This is the industry to industry transfer. So these are the different types of technology transfer. So despite its benefits, the technology transfer process faces several challenges, like value of death. The gap between the research and market ready products is often wide, requiring significant time and capital. Second is complex licensing negotiations. IP agreements can be time consuming. Then misalignment of goals. It means academic goals. Publishing may conflict with the commercial interest. Fourth one is a limited source, like technology transfer offices may lack funding or staff to support all promising inventions. And last one is a cultural difference. Academia and industry operate differently in terms of timelines, risk appetite, and the motivation. So these are some of the challenges in technology transfer. Now, third strategy of commercialization is a direct commercialization. The innovator, that is individual or company, directly manufacture, markets, and sell the product to the end user. For example, an innovator develops a low-cost irrigation controller. They manufacture the device, sell it directly to the farmers, or promote it through the local network. So this is the direct commercialization. You can invent, you can market, you can invent, you can manufacture, and you can market. So this is the direct commercialization. This is the third strategy of commercialization. Fourth one is the startup or spin-off. So startup and spin-offs helps in commercialization by turning a research into real product. They focus on idea, so the development is faster. They also help bring the product from lab to the market. So they arrange funding, launch the product, and sell it to the customer. So they make sure innovation reaches to the people. So in this way, startup and spin-off helps in commercialization. So what is startup? Startup is a company that starts completely on its own with no parent organization behind it. It is usually started by the entrepreneurs who have a new idea and want to bring it to the market. So startup often begins with a little money, but they grow by being creative and flexible. So this is about the startup. And what is spin-off? So spin-off is a new independent company established to commercialize knowledge, invention, or technology developed within the university or research institution. It provides a pathway for faculty, researchers, and students to transform their scientific discoveries or research outcomes into the marketable products or services. So this is all about the startup or spin-off. As I already mentioned in my first slide, that startups and spin-off can help in commercialization by turning research into a real product. Now, last one is the joint venture. A joint venture is a helps in it's a business arrangement where two or more organizations collaborate to develop, produce, and commercialize a technology by sharing resources, risk, and profit. It helps in commercializing by bringing together different strengths such as technology and market access. They reduce risk, speed up the product launch, and allow companies to enter into the new markets, making commercialization more effective. So in this way, joint venture helps in commercialization. And the key feature of joint venture is there are two or more partners, share the investment and also share the risk. So combine expertise and resources and defined role through the agreements. These are some key features of the joint venture. So, and their role in commercialization is first, it combines strength. How? So one, it's a joint venture. It means one partner may have a technology or other may have a manufacturing or market access. So it combines the strength. So it will be easy for them to commercialize the technology. Second, it reduces the risk. So financial and operational risk are shared safer than the commercializing alone. So they are also sharing the risk, financial as well as operational risk. Third one is the faster market entry. So existing network and resources helps in quick launch of the product. Fourth one is the access to new market. It means partners can enter new regions or industries easily because they are already well established into the market. Fifth one is the improved product development. By combining the research and industry experience leads to better and scalable products. And last one is the efficient use of resources. As they are a joint venture, they share the infrastructure, they share the funding, they share the manpower. So it is very, they efficiently use the resources. The cost cutting is also there. In this way, they are helping in commercialization. For example, a university develops a medical device and partners with the pharma or tech company. So university is providing a technology and company is handling the manufacturing and sales. So product reaches the market through joint effort efficiently and faster than the other company. So this is all about the joint venture. And this is it from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shruti, for your elaborate presentation regarding licensing, commercialization, and IP rights. So I request if anyone participants, they are having any questions to ask from the experts regarding commercialization, IP rights, and technology transfers. Any doubts? Yeah, any questions from any participant? I have a small question. I will just ask.
Okay.
Like if we are having some trade secret,
Okay.
so if we have to transfer that, then what is the best way to do it? Because we are transferring the know-how, and how we are going to protect that know. Suppose it's a tissue culture protocol, something like that. So because if sometimes what happens that it is not patentable, the process is not patentable, but the know-how is innovative. So how to protect that trade secret, or when we are transferring it to the company?
I will take this question up. So in case it is a know-how, it could be something specific or it could be a show-how as well. Like certain changes have been made in any existing process, which improves maybe the yield, the quality, or the desired the preferred texture or something. So in that case, it all depends upon the agreement we are signing with the party. Agreement has to be very carefully designed, keeping in mind that this particular know-how can be used in any other way as well. So first, like in my experience, first and foremost is confidentiality, that any person getting that information, be it a project associate or any employee in that company, should be maintaining the confidentiality of that know-how. They cannot use it for developing it further using their own resources also. So, and third thing is, in case there are any developments based on the know-how shared, the rights have to be shared. So these are the clauses which can be built in the agreement when we transfer the know-how or the show-how, or as we call a trade secret. And this is the best way to protect that according to our experience in NCL. We do that, and this is the way how we deal with it.
Thank you.
So, in case there are no more questions, I would like to summarize a few things. One, that maybe there are some students and researchers in the audience who might be thinking that we are there for the research. We are not meant to see how is this licensing happening or how will the product go in the market. So, just a small caveat here, that you all may be the people expert in the scientific aspects of it, but taking the research for commercialization is also one of the aspects researchers should be looking into it, because the data says that 80% of the commercialization happens with the help of inventors, because they are the people who are interacting most with the stakeholders. They know the problems in the field and they are providing the solutions too. So it is always easier for them to go back to the drawing board and see if there are changes needed in any existing product or process. However, the administrative part, which the scientists are very worried with, that who will draft the agreement, who will file a patent application, I can provide response scientifically, but who will present it before the patent office, etc. So there has to be an ecosystem in the institution, or access to any ecosystem outside the institution as well, by which the scientists can talk that this is what they have on the table, how can it be best protected, IP strategy can be defined. And with agri products like grapes, which contributes to the economy, which generates so much of employment, and it is not something which is limited to the lab. People are eating grapes, they are using it in various ways. India is the largest exporter of raisins. So all these facts point out that there have to be ways to take the technology outside rather than only tech transfer by way of working with the industry. So entrepreneurship is the best answer. Why it is the best answer, that we will talk about in a different session. But students might be interested in entrepreneurship, and I can tell you there are very successful uh, agricultural related startups around, and this is the time wherein the ecosystem is fully mature and ripe with opportunities for anybody who aspires to be an entrepreneur. So NRC has a lot of patent filings, and entrepreneurship also, the researchers and the scientists both should be looking at, because that is the best way to take the technology outside the lab to make the impact which it is intended for. So you don't be bugged with all the that types of licensing and all. You are not supposed to do that. There is an ecosystem which can help you in that. There are experts who can help you define all these things. So you concentrate on research, just take the lead, and the team is behind you. That is the assurance I wish to give.
But madam, I have a question here.
Yes, please.
For example, a scientist, he may be a very good scientist and developed a fantastic technology with lot of applications. But then problem comes that the scientist may not know who are the potential organizations who may be interested in the technology commercialization. So many a case, what we are finding in our agriculture system, that we only interact with farmers, and what happens that industry connection is little less. So that is the reason that sometimes technologies just remain within the institute, and it doesn't get commercialized. So how to resolve such issues?
Yeah, so I totally agree with you, and this is not any problem which is intrinsic to NRC. All the research organizations have that issue, wherein they are working on the technologies at a TRL level of say 1 to 3. But what the industry needs is TRL level of say 7 to 10. And this is the reason I wanted to say that startups are the safest venture when we talk of tech transfer. And so there has to be a hand holding between industry and the research organizations, one. So we as CSIR have also proposed it at various levels, that there should be more interaction of industry with the research organization. Maybe they can have their employees who do their PhDs. And third thing is, we can publicize our technologies, also connect with people. In case scientists do not know that who are the people working in that particular area, there are experts who can do that on a payment basis, who can tell the techno commercialization assessment of your technology. And also, one very important thing is what Shruti pointed out her initial slides, is that the research work should be planned in a way that we don't end up providing just another solution to an existing problem. We need to provide a better solution to an existing problem. And the moment we have that USP in our work, and we publicize our work, we have seen instances wherein industry also comes back to the research organization and take the technology. So one of CSIR's lab CMAP, they work in the aromatic plants and all, and we see that working with MSMEs especially, and these small scale industries as well, lot of technologies are transferred, and they have helped to improve the livelihood of people in general and women particularly. So I agree that this is not a problem which can be just solved with a wink in seconds, but it takes time to develop that ecosystem in an organization wherein research pre-planning is also done, that whatever we are working in is needed by the market. There is a market potential, and industry is actually interested in it. And the best thing to do that is, one, to enrope the industry at the stage one itself, and that can be done proactively as well, Dr. Banerjee. So to start with, once the researcher or the institution develops that credibility, things become a bit easier then. But yes, that is not a smooth sail. I agree with that. There is a huge disconnect between research organizations and industry.
Yeah.
I
Still,
totally agree with
in
that.
case of CSIR, you do a lot of industry projects. But then in our case, main problem is that our stakeholders are mainly farmers, exporters.
So,
And
Dr. Banerjee, there is a difference here. Working on projects is one thing, industrial consultancy is one thing, but technology commercialization is a separate aspect. So the industry may sponsor a project, but they may not be willing to sort of own that IP or something. So for that, again, we need to have clauses. We need to approach the industry to see if they are other industries as well, if they are interested. But I think in today's age and time, startups by scientists or students are the best tools to go ahead and take the technology outside. And I believe a certain level of training during the PhD coursework can help them in doing that. We do that in NCL, like this business proposal writing. That is a very basic thing which students can learn. Maintaining the accounts, because I think maths is what we have learned last in our class 10th or 12th at the most. Beyond that, we do not tend to learn maths. Maintaining all these things on Excel sheets, all these things develop skills and hone that entrepreneurial skill set.
Right.
So I think that is a holistic mechanism which we need to adopt step by step. Working on different fronts, interacting with industry could be one, training the student and researchers could be second, and having an evolving an ecosystem within the organization, or taking help also. Like, we all are there to help in case any student or any faculty needs any help. We will be more than happy to extend any help in advisory role to take their inventions ahead.
That's great. Thank you.
I just request that everyone just enable their video so that we can have a photograph, including the speakers, for a while, just for a screenshot. Those who are present. Okay. Now, as we come to the close of today's program, I would like to give the vote of thanks. I sincerely thank all our distinguished speakers, Dr. Nitin Shukla and Dr. Mrs. Shruti Sali, the director, participants, and the technical team for making this event meaningful and successful. The discussions today have highlighted how intellectual property, licensing, and commercialization can transform agricultural innovations into solutions with real impact. So on the occasion of World Intellectual Property Day 2026, let us reaffirm our commitment to promoting innovation, protecting knowledge, and ensuring that technologies benefit society at large. So thank you all for your participations. Jai Hind. So we'll close the meeting.
Thank you, Kavita ji, for inviting us. I really appreciate the kind of efficiency you have shown in organizing this event proactively, and definitely to leadership of Dr. Banerjee. I really look forward to interacting with you in person sometime.
Thank you.
Thank you,
very
ma'am.
much.
Thank
Thank
We
you
look
so
forward.
much.
for joining us.
Thank you.
at Sitting
Thank you.
Thank you.